It's groceries and kitchen items. Currently starting from Bangalore and within India. So we are disrupting the product market through kiosks, which is like vending machines, have a very controlled consumerism. We have also built our own AI engine, which helps us track a product journey.
So what FMCG, like, is it packaged food or packaged something or commodity?
It's groceries and kitchen items, just like Big Basket, Blinkit.
Oh, interesting. And you're only doing within India?
Currently starting from Bangalore and within India, yes. Currently within India.
How many years you've been doing this, or how long?
No, we are a baby company. Just started about 8 months back. So we are still launching this month.
And you're
actually
only on Amazon or some other platforms as well?
No, we are doing it on our own platform. So we are disrupting the product market through kiosks, which is like vending machines, automated stores. So we are trying to bridge the gap between retail and e-commerce platforms through kiosks. And this helps us build our own community and also direct all the consumerism, have a very controlled consumerism, unlike what it is now. So we have also built our own AI engine, which helps us track a product journey right from the source or from the manufacturing to the consumer.
Interesting.
And this way, through deep tech, we have a full product journey captured, and the entire community, we are able to not only promote our products to them, but also map the right product to the right consumer instead of causing the manipulation system which is existing right now, where all the platforms can very easily say that it is not available, and the customer is forced to do a lot of shopping. And, for that one product, whichever is not available, they end up again shopping for more items, feeling
is it like such manipulations happen that product is not in stock and or maybe it's in stock but they're saying not available?
Yes. They will remove it and we don't even know that that is being removed. It is so evidently practiced, and not only that, especially in items like milk or vegetables or perishable ones, they are also doing sort of the bad calculations. So there are calculation errors. So these are all very subtle manipulations, but you can think of its exponential accumulation. It is a lot of money.
Yeah, interesting insight. I think it makes sense because I have heard of these stories in the US, not authenticated, but yes, it's a discussion between the e-commerce players and sellers among themselves, that there are certain times, for example, one of my customers, he has goods in stock, and it was like last Christmas, which was a season time. And he said, I have back orders, almost like 31 back orders. My stock is maybe to fulfill 150 orders, but Amazon is not shipping them. My deliveries are almost 7 to 10 days delay.
That is correct. That is absolutely correct.
And if you go on the Central's seller account on their seller side, everything is okay. When everything is okay, then my order was actually, the customer paid 7 days back and still not moving from your warehouse. So these stories were something I have heard of, but having a backend manipulative thing to promote some other brand is something I had not heard of.
Oh, there's so much more. I mean, it's so evident out there. For example, the major losses which most of our competitors and our co-partners and all in commerce and retail are facing is the warehouse inventory. And these warehouse inventories are so huge. If you can, I'm sure you're aware that every order we procure from the source has a minimum MOQ. And if for that, with that in place, the warehouse withholding of the inventory, and then the FIFO not being executed properly, the logistics then not in place properly, all the charges, overhead charges on that for executing a logistic. Let's say DHL is doing it or Shiprocket is doing it. There is an overhead of that by other warehouse players out there.
Wow.
So, and all of this we have seen just for our company, our baby company, which we are trying to launch. We, our estimate for just in Bangalore, the stores came up to 30 crores.
Interesting.
For us to really cover this, the cost would have taken to recover this would have taken for easily for 3-4 years.
Like 30 crores of losses due to the mismanagement?
No, inventory investment, which we have to do initially now.
Okay. Yeah. I met a company.
That was like huge revelation for us.
Yeah. One of the revelation
we are very funded well, but then, that's not a solution. And that is why most of the competition in e-commerce and in retail is showing losses. Uran started showing losses. Big Basket was showing losses already.
Yeah.
Blinkit is showing losses. So I guess there has to be some disrupt, something new in retail inventory, in grocery inventory, and we are trying to bring it up through the kiosks. So what our number one benefit of introducing kiosks is all the inventory dead space. We are calling it dead space. Becomes now they act like stores. So people, it's not only an inventory, it's also an automated store. So people can actually go in there, and there's no need for manhandling, and they can procure their products.
Interesting. And so far you're spreading out in Bangalore itself, but definitely your aim would be to spread across all over India.
Yes, very much.
So based on what you have been discussing so far, I'll come back to the distribution side, but I met a company, service provider company to e-commerce called Gitida, and they are primarily specializing in only getting reimbursements from Amazon because of the losses which Amazon must have done on their behalf, but they're charging the seller. And I was talking to them like, how big is your losses? Because I manage one of the payment recovery businesses for B2B clients, and we have like our recoveries are like $20,000, $50,000, or maybe $100,000, so like big amounts. And he said, Lokesh, you would not imagine, again a tech-based program. So he said, I have like $6, $4, $5 per product or per SKU or per ASIN. We have close to 5,000 transactions happening every day, and our system can monitor those 5,000 transactions, and we flag those ones which are primarily should be Amazon's responsibility, and they are charging the sellers. And best part is they only get paid when the Amazon refunds the seller.
I see. My
so
God.
If there is even if there is a $1 extra charge, the system will detect it, and it will send an automated query to Amazon from your seller central account, and it's all worked out. And if Amazon refunds you $1, then they will invoice the seller for 25 cents.
Oh, that's so useful. That is incredibly useful.
I was really surprised. I said he was a CMO, a Chief Marketing Officer, up in the networking session, and we were on a cruise, so we had a lot of time to spend. I said, unless it is tech-based and AI, I don't think so you can monitor hundreds and thousands of dollars going here and where. And there are thousands and thousands of orders like Amazon, which is doing. And most of them are from warehouse based. Most of them are in the warehouse.
Very true, very true, very true.
So I was surprised when he said, Lokesh, I want to launch this in India. So far we have not been to India. We are in the US, we are in Europe, we are in Japan. I said, I don't think so India is ready for such tech-based AI system in Amazon warehouse, because they don't have any. I don't think so you will be able to recover anything from Amazon India so far, especially when you're talking about so small money of like $1. Like for example, if in India is like $100 100 rupee a product is sold, and you're talking about like 10 rupee a refund or 15 rupee refund or whatever Amazon must have charged as a fee or a penalty. This is not good money, and you're an American, so for you, it's like 82 rupees is a dollar. You'll have to figure out how you capture the Indian market, but yes, definitely some Indian entity can do this, and they might make some money. But as an American company, I don't think so. You should be going to India. India should be the last priority for you. Rather, you should be focusing on Europe and Japan and other countries. Not frankly Japan, because Japan Amazon is much more efficient than even Amazon US. But then again, they're there to make money. So they have a lot of money which they deduct back from the sellers for X amount of reasons. The packaging is big. The dimensions are bigger than they anticipated. The space is so a lot of these technical things which they are charging. Yeah.
Well, it's so interesting because I think he's found out the exact pain point in the entire inventory system, which we are also after. And all these, what we call as trickles of monies, which actually add up and add up to huge amounts.
I agree.
And this is what the actual sustainability is all about. It is not really only green tech or energy tech. I think if we have it on our website, and this is a big fact which happened in North Korea of green tech being implemented in 2013 onwards. In 2017, they realized that they incurred huge losses, and every country in the world is 1% of GDP increase in capitalism, in consumerism, to 0.8%, almost 1%, you can say, of energy emissions.
Interesting. Wow.
Yes. And if nothing is done now, then the recovery is very going to be very impactful. So I think yes.
And how did you came out of this idea? Like,
we save all this to do it is by really monitoring the controlling the consumerism to an extent where instead of the consumer being left very confused, instead of the products being a lot of them getting
confused and
misused, misguided. So I think the best part is if there is value for their money, and we are able to do that, number one, through our AI engine and deep tech, which helps in placing the right product for the right customer. And this is done through just one click. So a click onto our website will give, or our application will give the consumer introduction saying, okay, you have you use certain cards and you have this lifestyle, you're very closely associated to, let's say, Tata Sampann or organic foods or these brands, certain brands. So here are the products which you may like. There are certain events only which you celebrate, so which we have done stocking on. And so the AI is intelligent enough to profile the entire customer through a lot of their digital footprint.
So you would be asking for data sharing by the customer so that you can backtrack their activity online and the shopping from different areas or on different occasions?
Yeah, actually, nowadays, I mean, as of today, AI has become so smart. We have so much of digital footprint of people. Everyone, in fact, now once I put the phone down, I'll start getting YouTube, videos or shorts which are very similar to shopping and all of that. So that's because the listeners are so smart, so intelligent. So The
So
AI
it's
has,
actually a bot which is listening. It's not like actual person listening. They're just bots and they're
yes,
looking at the
yes.
keywords.
True, true, true. And it's become so very, very regular. If I talk about travel, I'll start getting, discount coupons of hotels and flights. So
Yeah.
I think, we are all being tapped into our lives are so out there. So I think that should be used for mapping the right product, or right. It really removes the confusion and it helps people shop. So we are delivering an engine which says, hi, how are you? This is your shopping list from previous times. Anything you want from this, or you're looking for some new product, your birthday, or a family event is coming up. How about this? And
So the customer will be actually purchasing or doing online on your website as an e-commerce website, and then they're going to go to the vending machine to take it out, or they can directly go to vending machine and also buy from there.
always, either ways.
Either ways,
So
okay.
they either way. So they go to the vending machines just while they are casually maybe shopping for let's say jewelry or some apparels, and they stumble upon our vending machines in that vicinity, and they do that shopping.
So
And
how about
also
somebody doing online on your website? How do you then deliver? Somebody from the vending machine will take it and then deliver to the consumer.
so they online they also have a uh, information of which vending machine has what, which they have access to. So
They have
they
to go to
won't get.
vending machine,
They can choose to go to the vending machine or a nearby store which is sponsoring that vending machine.
but it's not going to be home delivered.
The store can choose to home deliver also.
Okay.
But if they like, let's say they'll have one vending machine in their society itself,
Mm-hmm.
in their community itself. So if they have one in their community, they can always say that, place it in my vending machine, and they can pay for that vending machine, that space, an
But
extra charge.
I have one question as a consumer,
Right,
especially when we are doing so much of online. Most of the grocery also is coming now from Instamart, and within 7, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, as everything is at home.
right.
Why have you not connected your delivery boys or delivery companies to pull out from the vending machine and deliver to the homes? Or you're asking the store owner to take the onus. If a customer wants it home delivered, then a store owner has to now take the responsibility of delivering to the home. It's like
So
so.
if they want it to be home delivered, then they channel it through the e-commerce site. So there is so many things available. Vending machine is for a location experience and for that particular product experience. If we do overlap them, currently it becomes a little bit too heavy of a model for us to manage. So
Mhm.
we keep it vending machine as like an ATM, grocery at our
Right.
fingertips, or
Right.
supermarket at our fingertips, something like that.
So Shailja, we opened these meetups primarily. As we are a federation of business ambassadors, we are people who are bringing business to India. Most of the sellers, e-commerce sellers or retailers, wholesalers in their countries, primarily the North American domain, or Europe, UK, Australia, New Zealand, where like developed economies, they are buying products as a buyer for their own stores, e-commerce stores or physical stores, or as a wholesaler or importer. They come to India, China, Vietnam, Philippines, and order with factories. In that whole transaction, the surprise element is a big element in India. You can end up with a lot of bad surprises. You ordered with factory and you don't get it on time. You don't get the right quality. You don't get the right price.
Right,
And there are
right.
a lot of ifs and buts in the supply chain of logistics and risk. They will hire a sourcing consultant, or they will pretty much put their own person as a liaison office in India, which is the eyes and ears of the company. So we are the extended buying managers, sourcing consultants, or buying agents. That's why we call buying agents, because we are managing the buying side of the buyer. And we have seen in the last 5 years of our existence as a federation that the e-commerce sellers are now a really big chunk of customer base as buyers. So looking at India, we have
I absolutely agree. I'm so glad you have said this, and this is such a wonderful foresight you have gained and gathered and put together. This is amazing. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
yeah.
I'm all ears.
So when we started hosted buyer program, it was primarily open to only big retail store buyers or big companies who were coming to India, retail chain stores, wholesalers, importers, and we were not offering any incentive. We were just saying that okay, if you require help and you're looking at credible source of a sourcing agent which is verified, validated. If any problem happens as a federation, we are responsible to resolve it. And after the great pause, when everything stopped and lockdown happened, and most of the companies also went digital, I have been serving few e-commerce as a sourcing consultant myself in my business, and I am the spokesperson for the federation as well. I saw the trend that now the growing economy and the growing business is with e-commerce sellers. So we now launched the hosted buyer program with a new facility where we are paying the travel incentives to a e-commerce seller or even a buyer or a wholesaler. We're not asking them to pay the
Right.
whole cost of coming to India for 6 nights, 7 days. We're saying you just pay $999 and your cost of around $8,000 of being in India by airline flight, international flight, 6 nights of hotel, 7 days of your travel in the factories and sightseeing excursion, B2B exhibition, anything which you require in the whole business trip is on us. You just pay $999 and we will ask you to file a form which is pretty much a pre-qualification form, and we get all your data collected, and if we qualify you as a customer, because we are working in some labor intensive sectors only, it is not like sourcing agents in India work with any industry. So we are not the people who would be helpful in your microchip manufacturing. We will not be people who are helpful in like electronic manufacturing, but we will be very helpful. And in fact, you will require our help when you are going and buying handicraft, home decor, furniture, lighting, carpets. mm, I would say even processed foods, which we've seen, fisheries, one of the, I would say, seafood, and
Yeah.
automobile components, auto parts. So most of these labor intensive sectors where there is not mechanized manufacturing happening, it's all about a lot of human intervention. That is where
Yes.
you require the services of the sourcing agent. So
Absolutely. And I think, uh, by far between all our competitors, we have seen that the sourcing, especially, holds such a key importance.
yeah,
That's because
that's the
the
foundation of
brands.
your business.
Yes, it's a foundation, it's a backbone, it's everything for the business. And because if we don't get those products to the customer, then what are we doing? Number one. Number two,
Exactly.
what we are seeing is particularly the brands all actually give way to the ones which have all the muscle power.
Yeah.
And they need somebody like whatever you are saying, somebody like yourself, your business, to really guide them and to give them a platform to operate.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm so glad you're doing it.
then the next challenge came in that how do we market ourselves as a federation? It's a non-for-profit association. We have members, and one of our principles of the benefit of the member is to generate more business opportunity for them. So we said, okay, we have the plan ready. We know how to do it. As soon as we have buyers signed up, we personally, on my company as well as other members, receive almost 10 to 15 exporters request to do business with them. If we have the right set of buyers with them, this project will run. But how to market this? So initially I have been an export import consultant as well. Apart from my buying house, I have this meetup of Delhi and Mumbai export import for almost like 7 years now. Then I opened one for India export import, and last month I opened 6 meetups in 6 different big cities of US, because that's where I would target. And I told all my governing body members, as well as all the senior members, that if we have to get business, let's focus on e-commerce players, especially with the recession and inflation happening across US and Europe. Don't go for wholesalers, retail chain stores, physical stores. They are literally bleeding now. Many of them are going bankrupt, and I don't think so. We should be putting any effort, any money to woo them and ask them, okay, please come to India, we'll pay for your cost. Rather, we should look at the
Very
new
true.
germ of buyers who are literally working from home. They just start doing the business and they're looking for products.
Very true. Very true. And I think, you know, seeing you do this, there will be many other product companies which are coming, which will come forward uh, to your business as a channel for them or as an outlet for them,
Yeah,
because I totally believe that, you know, the sourcing, particularly the sourcing, has become, they have reduced the activity to completely different from whatever you have stated right now. They have made it as some kind of a secretarial sort of a, steps altogether of getting the task done. Like, you know, it's just like communicating with the particular brand and, just having a meetup, just taking a quote, and that's sourcing. But to them, and this is done by people who are very new to the market, just grads, not much experience. You come with such an vast experience, and you have so much of sensitivity to so many verticals. And you know exactly, you mentioned fisheries, you mentioned different various frozen foods and various other food sector segments all together. So I guess, you have a very good understanding. I'm not just talking about limited to foods only, but even I'm sure you have very good idea about fashion and electronics and all of that sector as well. So I guess the whole point about sourcing is not executed well in India at all. And this is where your business will create an amazing result. And I'm
well,
so glad I
we
am in
always
this
laugh about
meeting.
it that as long as there is so much of inconsistency in supply chain, our business will never
Yes.
die.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this is what I'm thrilled about is I am this has to be my luck, right? Today after all the despite all my schedules, whatever it is, I have identified this program and I said, "Oh my God, how did I miss it all these days?" And today, just when I, accepted and wanted to attend, I kept checking my time. I didn't want to miss it, and I'm so glad I'm here, and we are able to knock out the best part about business. This is outsourcing and so many factors, so many other aspects of it we have covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess, I want to stay connected, and there's so much I would definitely benefit of being connected with yourself and with your business.
Sure. We have one program where it's complimentary for all the people, whether they're professionals, whether they are selling a product, to actually be hosted on one of our meetups. Then you can come up and you can explain and even do a presentation of what you are doing, especially
Oh,
the way you have
wonderful.
mentioned how you are now differentiating yourself. It's like future. Many of the e-commerce sellers do talk about having to stay exclusive as long as. And I met one of the e-commerce sellers a couple of months back. He is nine-figure seller on Amazon, and he said, "I love Amazon, but I hate Amazon."
Oh,
Because he was making so much of money with them, but he said that I'm literally bleeding. So, and he could not do what you have been doing from the beginning, and now the operations are so big for him. He said, it will take me much more years again to stay exclusive, and I'll the first person to ditch Amazon if I can get a platform where I can do myself. So what you're doing now
wow.
is super amazing. So if you'd like to come back maybe in a couple of weeks, We do a lot of promotion for the company on our different social media channels of this company, showcasing their business. We call it vendor connect program, like as a vendor, or some exclusive e-commerce business which people are doing, and we would like to just get the content ready for our watchers and viewers. Whenever you're ready, let me
Sure.
know.
Sure, and we are looking for, definitely sourcing. We are wanting to do a lot of brand building, our inventory with a lot of brands. Currently, like any typical FMCG e-commerce, we have all the regular brands which are out there, and within that also, they don't want to promote. Like Tata Sampann doesn't want to give what is its most selling very
Yeah,
easily.
yeah,
They want to push their
but what they can't sell
maybe,
themselves.
yeah, which they can't, or which are new, they have acquired that company. Some,
Yeah, just to promote the sales.
yes, yes, they were just to promote those sales. Why don't you promote this if
So why
this
don't you
does
create your own brand? That is something you should be doing if you are so much deep into it
eventually?
now. Yeah,
Yes, yes, yes,
maybe start with
eventually,
one or two
definitely.
SKUs, and then there are a lot of OEM factories who can do it for you. And it's a
Yes.
different vertical, of course. It's a complete business vertical where you are investing money in factories and making some purchase orders, and they are producing it for you. It's your own brand, whether you want to warehouse with them or you want to warehouse with you.
Yes, we are doing. We have looked into the wheat flour, atta, and and rice. These two, we are getting various ones, and so the way we are branding it, promoting it, so all the events associated with it, with its marketing, all that. We have a very nice D2C segment. But that's a partner again. So we are open to suggestions. So we are still, as I said, a baby company. We love to explore, experiment, look at more suggestions, more guidance. And I always like to stay humble. I come from IIT Kharagpur and with my
Mhm.
MBA from Chicago booth, and having uh, been with Deutsche Bank, with Standard and Poor's, with New York Stock Exchange financials all the way,
Yeah,
and then
number
overall
lady,
moved
yeah,
on. Yeah,
all about
well,
numbers.
yeah, numbers, but have also seen the rough life, I would say. But I am personally, as an individual, I'm very inclined to my Indian origin. So I'm very much into classical music, classical
Wow.
dance. Yes, and
Well, you spoke about failures. I think the growth happens with failures.
yes, very true. And recently, I think last week, we've had somebody kind of close down their business, who was partnering with us, just because he was saying that I'm looking for, especially in the vending machine kiosks segment. So he was wanting it. He was way ahead in the market, in Indian market, and Indian market is just opening up. Not that it's ready.
Yeah,
So Big Basket has started their vending machines segment in 2017, 2016, 2017, and they're still not done much about it. And but at the same time, vending machines is very useful for them to show losses. So they are just keeping it that way, that entire vertical. So he had closed down, and that really saddened us. And we were, it happens. We got a little shaken up, but then we saw Steve Jobs movie the other day, me and my founder friends and co-founder friends, and we saw how much he had to struggle of being coming back as a CEO, and launching the new version of desktop of Apple, and from there it was the iPods. for his daughter. In personally, he having a lot of failed marriage and all that tensions,
So
whichever.
let me give you another Steve Jobs copy of. You are looking at a person. I got ripped off with a partner soon after marriage. I had to
Oh,
start again,
oh my
and
God.
from a friend, common friend.
Uh-huh.
So after that, I got bankrupt when the WTC happened because my business was exposed to the US and the bank withdrew everything. So I was on the road.
My
Then
God.
2008, we had a recession, so we again got bankrupt. We had to close down the company, the staff, and everything, and we were only two people company. Then we built it again. In 2013, again, one of my partners, which has been with me for 10 plus years, did something wrong, and
Mm.
I had to restart my own journey again as alone. And I said bye bye to all partnerships. I said never again I would do this. It's been very bad experience. And so you're looking at four restarts to my business. And ever since that, my 50% of the time till today is also going to community. While I'm in
Wow.
their business, I have very good upbringing to the kids, respect from the
Wow.
community of business owners. But then when you
You
look at back
you
at,
are a lion's heart. I have to say you are a lion's heart because
yeah,
only brave hearts can do this. And we are all born to to give back the society something. I think you are born to teach all of us an inspiring story.
yeah, I
I
still
think
remember my
that
mother said
way.
that I was actually proclaimed dead when I was almost like 2 years. The
Oh
doctor said
my.
Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital, like this Linden Hospital. My
Right.
grandfather was a pharmacist there, and so and doctor said I will not be able to recover. But I got it from my mother, so she was a fighter, and she said no, this is
Wow.
not possible. She immediately went to the father-in-law. He was there, and he had that kind of a knack for medicines because he was a pharmacist for so many years. And he told the doctor that you did not do one test. You should have done that also, and is not yet dead. So it's almost like when I was
Oh
2 years.
my.
So you can imagine we have been fighting all the years.
Yes. Oh, wonderful. I am so really honored to meet you today.
No, I am
I
really
feel
happy
so
to see you.
inspired. No, I'm very inspired because I got so inspired just with the movie from last week. And I'm telling everybody, I think everything is fine. Everything is fine. We are nothing compared to what some of the stories out there are. And I think we're very blessed. And today I feel so blessed, to be very honest, and very humbled actually. And glad to make this journey, along with your guidance.
Thank you, Shailja. Let's stay connected, and hopefully, I'll my team will be sending you a message. So, if you would like to be on a podcast, if you're prepared to give a presentation, let us teach. You should teach us of new technology, why people should be away from Amazon or any e-commerce and maybe build with technology their own business to stand out because that's the future. I feel that's the future. And when
Yes,
you say
and
consumerism, protective consumerism is something we need to figure out. Like I call Gandhi primarily a leader because he could do it alone with all of us.
yes, I totally agree. And I feel that, if you could help us, Mr. Lokesh, with any outsourcing or how to tailor down any challenges in outsourcing, if you can see through. Else, also, just in an introduction to, what we can do better would also be nice. Anything actually from your vast experience would be very helpful. Since you have really nailed it and given $1 million statement on what is sourcing and how sourcing needs to be done. So I'm
Sure.
quite it was that was a very big surprise for me actually, as part of this program today. So I look forward to your help on that. How should I connect with you in
So
case?
you can send since you have been part of the meetup, you can send a comment or you can send a private message to me on the meetup itself, and we can take it
Okay.
forward. Maybe leave your phone number, we can call, and we can take it. And maybe when you have your co-founders or the responsible people for outsourcing, we can get you on
Right.
a Google Meet or a Zoom Meet and to discuss what I can offer you, whatever knowledge I have.
Right. I'm sharing my phone number to you right now on this
Sure.
chat. Right.
All
So
right, Shailja. Thank you so much.
thank you so much. And I look forward to staying connected.
Same here. Bye.
Bye bye.